Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking around.
That attitude will serve you well.
I feel very very fortunate and very kind of energized to have our guest here, Carter Nordman, because it's rare. It's rare. You know what? Honestly, I'll tell you what, Carter. It's rare to come across a political minded person at the beginning of what ostensibly is going to be some kind of like involvement or career maybe, or whatever it happens to be in politics, and especially in this campaign season, that appears to have, at least, and we'll talk about sort of your attitude, but appears to have a positive vision. I mean, this campaign cycle, regardless of who you support or who you've supported, has been characterized by negative attacks and tit for tat stuff, which I'm trying to avoid, because it's very easy to go back and forth with accusations from especially between the Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump campaign. And so what I want to give you an opportunity to do here, out of the spirit of fairness, or give you opportunity, is lay out as best you can a positive vision for the Donald Trump presidency, because I don't think that your candidate's doing a very good job of articulating that vision. I really don't, and I don't think the media is doing a very good job of holding him to account for some of the things. I mean, they do a pretty good job in other respects, but I don't think he's doing a very good job of articulating it. And I think that that Mike Pence is doing a little bit better job. But what about the Donald Trump message prescribes a positive vision for the future?
Well, I can tell you that in the primaries, yes, he was extremely tough. He had 17 people to knock out, and he did it. And he won the primaries with millions of more votes than any other Republican in history. And when he did that, he had to be tough. And he has toned it down. You've seen in the past month he's caught up to Hillary in the polls by a lot. And, the polls was a double-digit margin. Now it's down to 2.4 in the Real Clear Politics average. So he has toned it down. He is talking directly to the voters now. And you see that the past few weeks he's been laying out policy plans on most everything. He's going to lay out another policy in Pennsylvania tonight. But what you see with Donald Trump is, like I said before, something new blood, and someone who has proven he gets things done with inside his business. Sadly, with Hillary Clinton, I don't think with her 40 years in Washington, D.C., you're not going to see anything change from the Obama administration to a Hillary administration. So.
Well, and to press you on this, a positive vision. I mean, it's easy to knock around Hillary as being this Washington insider. She was in Congress for a while. She's Secretary of State, First Lady with Bill back in the 90s. But what specifically about a Trump administration is going to move this country in what you would see as the right direction?
Well, he is going to be the best jobs president we ever see.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Because look at his business. He has a $10 billion business. He has built it, and yes, you can argue that he got a $1 million loan from his father, but he took that $1 million loan and created an empire with it.
No, well, best jobs president. Best jobs president. What about a president's role, or tagging on to that? What about a president's role in the economy? Affects job creation at all? Can presidents even create jobs?
Absolutely. It's all about negotiating trade deals. And we see that Donald Trump is probably the best negotiator, or is the best negotiator out of everyone that has ran. Definitely a better negotiator than Hillary Clinton. And he's going to align himself with people who know how to negotiate as well. It's about negotiating for our country, and it's about giving opportunity back to the working class with these better trade deals. Better trade deals.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth. But negotiating better trade deals, like renegotiating NAFTA, would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
And by renegotiating NAFTA, what do we hope to achieve?
Well, we're going to bring jobs back to America.
Jobs back.
Yeah, right. We've seen so many jobs leave this country, by the millions, just to go over the border. And another thing is lowering taxes to a 15% flat rate for corporate and small businesses. Right now, businesses are getting killed with taxes, and that's why they pick up their stuff and move across the border to Mexico or go to China. It's because the taxes are so high and it's killing jobs here in America.
Well, that sums it up pretty well. But just to clarify, it is my position that the president really he can influence the markets. That's what the president has, but he really doesn't have the power to create jobs, and neither does the Congress. And in fact, what their real role should be, and this is my opinion, is to create an environment in which business can thrive. However you want to look at that. I've never really agreed with NAFTA. I don't like that idea. You know, that's a Clinton era kind of thing that's wound up hamstringing us. TPP. If you have Bernie Sanders standing up there and saying TPP is a terrible thing, most likely it's a terrible thing. If you have Chuck Grassley standing up there saying, I'm going to have to reserve judgment on this, right? Then I might be bad.
Or your speaker, or your vice presidential candidate, or every single other Republican in the Congress thinks that free trade and trade deals are the way to go. Now, I'm not sitting here arguing that specific thing necessarily, because there is bipartisan and there is bi-philosophical, whatever that dual philosophical resistance to things like free trade. I put the question to you: what's the difference between a Trump sort of quasi-isolationist policy and a more left-leaning Bernie Sanders isolationist policy as far as the economy is concerned?
Well, like you say, one of the biggest factors in the presidency is ensuring there is an environment where people want to work. And, you know, when you go and hand free stuff out, people don't want to work. I mean, you're getting free stuff. Why would you? And so let's back up. Let's clarify. What is that free stuff he's handing out? Well, and what would Trump get rid of at that point? What would be the free stuff that Trump would start walking back on? And this is your opinion. We're not speaking for the Trump campaign. No,
we're talking
not.
Carter Nordman. What's your opinion? What's the free stuff that we should be giving back?
You know, well, we saw Hillary Clinton's college plan where she did go left to try to get some of those more college student votes, and she is for the free college as well. It's, I'm no economist. I'm 18 years old, and these are my opinions. But one of the biggest things about creating business and the workforce is lowering taxes. Taxes are killing businesses. And actually, I was at the Trump event today, and he talked about regulations. He's going to order a review on all regulations, and any regulation that is not needed and is killing businesses will be canceled. And now I cannot speak what regulations he is referring to, but there are regulations, and the taxes, they need to be lowered.
How, I guess, well,
we get back to, my original question is what's the free stuff? Because even though I agree with you, it's always good to articulate, these are things that we really don't want. So, what's the free things that Obama has given that Trump you think should be walking back?
Or the government.
The government. There you go.
Right. Well, the welfare program, I'm not saying that we should eliminate the welfare program. No one is. There are people who need help. But the people who don't need help and just sitting at home, who is able to work, should work. And by bringing jobs back to those people, will allow them to work. And this is just my opinion, I believe that if we're going to be giving out welfare, we should also be giving drug tests as well. You see too many people on drugs who's spending the majority of their money on this kind of stuff, and who are collecting welfare. That's not fair to the people who actually need it, who actually are trying to find work. That's not fair.
All right. Well, right now we're going to take another commercial break. We want to thank Carter Nordman for joining us tonight. He'll be back after our commercial break. We want to thank him for coming on. He is a director at Students for Trump here in Iowa, and also a campaign director for Ralph Watts in the 19th District. And that's over in Adel. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We couldn't do what we do without you. We'll be back